Charlie, I think we need a change in all countries. A big change.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, but there's one issue that's above all the others, and that is road works, road construction.
100%.
I think if I am driving at night and there is nobody working on the road, there should be no reduced speed limit. I don't understand.
100%.
I'm driving at 70 miles an hour. Now I got to drive at 20 because there's cones on the road. I don't understand. There's nobody there. Nobody's working. It's 8 at night. There's nobody there. They work from 9 to 5 or something. I don't know. Or sometimes earlier, but they work at hours that are not the hours that I'm driving at. And I don't. All they got to put up is like a little electric sign or something like that. That's like, people are working, slow speed. People are not working. Yeah. You can drive quickly. Just don't hit the cones.
Drive as fast as you fucking want. Don't hit the cone.
Exactly.
I
don't understand it. I don't understand. I also think we should have. I think there should be levels to the driving tests. You know what I mean? Like, if you can pass a higher level driving test, you should be allowed to drive faster on roads than other people.
Oh, now that is that's a very interesting way of going about it. I would be fascinated to see if that would increase or decrease traffic fatalities.
I don't know if it would actually work, but I'm pissed off because I feel like I should be able to drive faster than I am allowed to, because they got all these freaking average speed cameras in this country, and I gotta just sit, make sure I'm driving the right speed. If I went too fast past the first one, now I gotta drive slower past the other one so that it levels out. It's horrible. It's just a terrible mess. I was driving for 2.5 hours yesterday. I drove for 5 hours yesterday in total, 2.5 hours either way. And oh my God, the frustration of roadworks, average speed cameras, people driving slowly, trucks. Oh my God, we just gotta.
I can't stand trucks on those little UK roads. Trucks, pisses me the fuck off.
It's horrible. Roundabouts, I fucking hate roundabouts. I'm just gonna say it. I hate roundabouts. I get
it's the most American thing about you. I think
they make sense. They totally make sense. They're more efficient. They're better. They're better in every way, except when I have 12 of them in a row. That's just I can't understand it. How did you build a road so that there's just 12? There's not even any road. It's just 12 roundabouts. That's all it is.
It's just 12 roundabouts.
I go from one to the next roundabout
to
the next. I'm just going in circles over and over and over again.
Stupid.
I don't think I'm getting anywhere.
I agree. 100%. I agree that the roundabout is good in but you have to use it strategically.
Use it like where you put intersections. Why is there just like I never run in from intersection all within like the space of a fifth of a mile. But I'm going fucking 10 feet and I've gone through 7 roundabouts. I don't understand it. How there's so many roads? Where do they go? Where do all these roads go, Charlie? Because they're not going where I want to go. That's for sure. Because I'm taking the most insane route to get anywhere. So where do these roads go? They
all lead to Rome, Jake.
I thought you were going to say they all lead to the hello everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VeryReasonablePilots podcast. I'm your host, Charles. Along with me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Goloth. How you doing today, Jacob?
I am swell, Charles, and excited for another episode of the podcast. We pitch new TV shows every single week. New worlds, characters, storylines, thrilling ideas, all that kind of fun stuff packaged into exciting TV shows and films that we come up with every single week.
Sometimes
and this week,
we
Charles,
do casting. We'll
you
cast
gave
some
me
people occasionally.
A new title, which was
Longneck Lullaby.
Yes, of course. You told me Longneck had to do with a beer, and I mistook it for a rifle. But either way, I decided that what a beer and rifles have to do with each other, the West. That's what I connected it to.
Oh, I was gonna say Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, well, that was a shotgun that he used. Anyway,
damn.
Anyway, this is a Western about a drunken gunslinger who he's not a normal man, Charlie. He can put people to sleep, kind of like the Sandman. He's basically a sort of mythical figure.
Okay.
Not Sandman like Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Yeah. Sandman as in like the
Rise of the Guardian Sandman.
Tale. Sandman.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go ugliest raisin in the world. Like, I thought you were going to do that again, and you were going to make the gunslinger. He's an incredible gunslinger because his neck is 18 inches long and he can see above everyone else. I thought you were doing that for sure. Fair enough.
Well, that
cool.
still wouldn't be quite the ugliest raisin in the world, because if you remember, I just misheard you say the title, which was the ugliest reason in the world, and so I changed it to raisin. That was a joke.
I do remember.
Made me angry. That was a great show. Anyway,
it was a great show.
Sandman, gunslinger. He drinks a lot. And and the show revolves around him hunting down a cult called the Eyeless, who are immune to his powers and worship a god called Somnus, who's trapped in the dream world. So this is kind of like a fanciful gunslinging show in the Old West.
Crazy, like, culty sci-fi, or not sci-fi, like kind of magic-y cowboys. I'm down for
Magic-y cowboys, exactly. So our main character, this Sandman-like guy, is called the Unknown. He's a cloak drifter who wears welder goggles and a mask. He has one revolver on his hip and the other on his chest, like the vest pocket, you know what I mean? Which is like in a cross-draw position.
So cool.
But what's interesting here, Charlie, is that both the revolver is on his right side, and then the cross-draw one is also pointing to his right. So there's nothing towards his left side. They're both guns are ready for his right hand to grab them. We'll see why that's important during the episode.
That's very strange.
So he wears a long, big duster coat, cowboy hat, has like a gruff, almost windy voice. He drinks heavily and he wanders the west in search of this cult called the Eyeless. And he can set anyone to sleep with a bit of dust, except for the Eyeless, these cult members. So like basically, if any dust or dirt or anything like that, if he throws it and it gets in your eye, you fall asleep. Just immediately, just boom, hit the ground. Our main villain of the show is Somnus. Somnus is spelled Somnus. He's an angry god who is trapped in the world of dreams. He wants to come back to reality so he can use his powers of creation in the real world. So he's like this dream god that can appear in your dreams and manipulate them and sort of hurt you emotionally through your dreams, and can manipulate you. But he can't, he's got all these powers and this great stuff he can do, but he can't leave the dream world. And if he can come into the real world, then he can use that same power to create and manipulate on, the fabric of reality itself. So that's why he wants to be out.
So he's like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, kind of like that, I guess. Then we have...
Is Somnus like a name you made up, or is it like a thing from
god.
History of the past? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm not clever. I think it's a Roman god, actually. It's the Roman version of a Greek god. Anyway, Sherry is our next character. She is a 15-year-old girl. Her dad was kidnapped by the Eyeless for a sacrifice, and she'll do anything to get him back. She's tough, kind, compassionate, and headstrong. So the show's mainly going to revolve around the Unknown, this cloaked drifter, and Sherry, this young girl who's trying to get her dad back or avenge him or, do something to find her dad.
Yeah.
And obviously the
Figure out what
plotline
happened to him.
revolves around this cult and this god that they're trying to bring back into reality. So
Cool.
lots going on.
Lots fun. It sounds fun. Sounds cool.
It could be. Who knows? So, episode 1. The show opens with a saloon, Charlie, at night. Because it has to. I mean, it's a Western. Saloon. Everyone is laughing, having a good time, when the Unknown pushes open those swinging doors. Comes in, he saunters to the bar. I'm sure you've seen The Mandalorian, the TV show.
Yeah.
Similar to that opening where, the doors open. Basically, every Western movie that you've ever seen has this scene where it's just like the lone wanderer comes in and pushes the door open, and everyone, turns around.
Yeah, and looks at it and stares at him. Can I actually say something about The Mandalorian real quick? I have beef with The Mandalorian real quick. You've reminded me of it. So, I watched the first 2 seasons of the show. I really like it. I think it's a good show. I haven't seen season 3. I heard it wasn't great, but whatever. I was at a comic book store, and I was like, oh, there's The Mandalorian comic book series that they're doing. cool. Like, I'll pick that up. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I'll get back into Star Wars, right? Because I go through waves with Star Wars where I'm, like, really into it, and then I'm, like, really not into it, and just, like, back and forth. And so I picked up this comic book, and I bought it, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get home and read this. And I went home, and I read it, and after I read it, I realized that it was simply a shot-for-shot comic book adaptation of the first episode of the TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the fuck did I spend $6 on this?
Yeah, they do that a lot.
It pissed me the fuck off because it didn't say that anywhere, right? And it'd been a few weeks since I'd seen episode 1, so I didn't remember exactly. But the second I saw that fucking blue guy, who is like one of the main guys in episode 1, I was like, this is just episode 1, but in a comic book. Why the hell would I want to watch? Why the hell would I want to read that? What's the point of that? I'll just watch the fucking TV show. It made me so angry. Sorry, continue.
Okay. Well, back in the bar, the unknown has come in. He's sauntered up to the bar itself. And also when he walks in, by the way, it doesn't go silent, but it is a little bit quieter. We don't go the full, obvious Western cliche.
Yeah.
But he goes to the bar and he has a couple of drinks. Just chilling. It's not like a, immediate somebody comes up to him situation or the bartender refuses to serve him. He gets a couple of drinks down quite quickly, it should be noted. Like, he orders a whiskey, pounds it, grabs the next one, pounds it, and then he gets the third one, he just starts sipping it like he's, he needed the first two to sort of clear his throat, and now he's just sipping.
The first two are just to get the taste in his mouth, and then the third one is like, oh, I'll enjoy this.
Maybe he orders like two cheap whiskeys first, and then he orders something, top shelf.
Yeah. Something nice. It's like, this will only like burn through your stomach in 14 days. The others will burn through your stomach in a matter of hours.
Yeah. So he's drinking his whiskey, and then someone comes up to him and asks who he is, and doesn't answer that question, but he turns to the guy, and he asks where the lector is. The lector. The guy says he doesn't know what he's talking about, so the unknown turns to him and repeats, where's the lector? He sees the man's eyes then shift to a far table in a side room with people gambling. But he again asks, the guy then says, like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know who this, this lector person is.
What a lector is? Hannibal? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, not that lector. Lector is in like Lector, which is, I think a priest is like called a lector in some things. Yeah. Anyway, so he says, I don't know what you're talking about, and he goes away, and the unknown just sort of nods and turns back to the bar, finishes his drink, orders another, finishes that, orders another. This is like a kind of a slower thing still.
Yeah.
And after like the third or fourth, he gets up and he goes to the back room, asking to gamble. And he does for a while. He sits at the table. And we have this sort of like Casino Royale scene. So Casino Royale, the movie, the James Bond movie, where the villain
hitting him in the balls with a rope.
Schiff. No, not that scene. The villain and James Bond are gambling at the table together, but they both kind of realize that, who each other are. And so he builds up a very clearly vindictive rapport with the lector, who is this man on the other side of the table in a very fine blue suit with a triangular pin in his lapel, in his suit jacket.
And he has no eyelids. They've been sliced off.
So he has eyelids, but his eyes, they kind of have like there's like a bit of a haze over them, like a very slight sort of twinkly haze over them.
Oh, I was going to suggest that maybe what the like way that the eyeless or the lidless like identify each other is they have like circles tattooed on their eyelids.
Well, you'll see why this is the case.
If they've got a thing.
So there's like a twinkly haze over his eyes. So after winning a big hand, the lector tells him that he was told that he'd be coming, and he's actually kind of surprised because he expected something scarier, a demon perhaps, not just some figure wrapped in a torn coat. The unknown then asks if the lector would like to begin, and the unknown then shakes out the poker table's cloth, putting out all the men to sleep because there was like dust on the table. Also, all the other men at the table just have instantly hit the ground, falling asleep. And as he does that, the Lecter uses the moment to bolt out a hidden door that's on the side, maybe behind like a bookcase or something, just like shoves the bookcase aside, bolts out the door. And he's yelling that the Unknown's tricks don't work on him. And the Unknown chases, he fights several thugs running through the tavern and then into the town until eventually, he's gone through so many thugs. We're gonna have cool scenes where he's like throwing dust in their eyes and he's punching people and he's shooting people, all this fun stuff.
Probably does a big kick. Maybe he does a flip. Maybe I can do I'll be the stunt double for the actor who's doing the show, and I'll do a front flip because I can do one.
Again. Yeah. I thought you were doing a back flip. That was the thing. Now you can do a front flip too. Okay. I didn't know that. All these things are lies.
All these things are lies.
If you have no idea what we're talking about right now, listener, listen to the cold open from like 2 episodes ago, and then the one before that, and the one before that. Charlie said he could do a backflip. He can't. Anyway, so they're chasing through the town. But eventually, they are both outside, and as the Lecter, or as the Unknown gets outside, the gun that was in his hand gets shot out, and he turns and he sees, down the row of the buildings, the western, buildings. The Lecter is standing with the gun in his hand. He tells him that he wants a fair duel, and if he wins, he wants to be left alone. The Unknown agrees, and they both line up classic Western duel style in the middle of town. The Unknown has his, so he no longer, the gun that was in his waist is gone because it was shot out of his hand.
Yeah.
So he has to do the cross draw, the one that's on his jacket, which is going to be a little bit, probably going to be a little bit slower for him to draw. So, and the Lecter, obviously, he tucks his gun back into his holster, ready to go. And the Unknown also puts his hand in his left hand in his coat pocket. And so they wait, the clock chimes, and as soon as the clock chimes, the Lecter, he reaches, he tries to pull his gun out, and already 3 shots ring out, all into the chest of the Lecter, and he falls down. We pan back to the Unknown, who's holding up the left pocket of his coat, where there's a hidden revolver that shot 3 shots already.
Has to be. Right,
Boom.
Has to be Jesse Pinkman at the end of El Camino.
Exactly, yeah.
Sure.
That was exactly what I was thinking of, yeah. He's got the hidden gun inside the coat pocket.
Badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick as hell.
So, we now cut to a farm where Sherry, the young 15-year-old girl, is working with her dad. She is, they're on the farm going around checking the crops, and as he's like got the plow and he's doing all the work, and she's got a 22, like a 22 rifle, 22 caliber, and she's shooting at crows that are approaching the field, sort of clearing them off. And they finish all the work for the day, and they go back home to find that it's been completely torn apart, kind of like Luke coming back to his home in Star Wars: A New Hope. It's all like burnt out and everything, and her dad is like distraught, and they're like going through everything. Nobody's dead. It's not like the mom's inside dead or something like that. It's just like all their stuff's
she's not fired.
Yeah,
she's not been
the mom's not in the
and
picture.
Uncle
It's
Owen.
just a single dad situation. And so they're it's all destroyed inside, all their stuff, and so they're like lamenting their destroyed things. And maybe she's got a doll that's been like ripped apart, and she's sad about that. And he's looking through all of his stuff that's destroyed.
Is
and
there
her dad,
a photo of the wife? Maybe he's like touching it.
maybe it's like shattered or torn or something like that.
Is the wife show up at all?
No, she's
in
not
the
relevant
show?
to the story.
Because I was gonna suggest maybe she's in the cult. We could put little like hints in, but if that's like too much,
probably not, based on what's gonna happen to the dad.
Fair enough.
But so wife's dead, or something.
Wife
It's not
died.
important for this. So
Tuberculosis.
yeah, she died of tuberculosis. That's what happened. Anyway, so house is destroyed. Her dad then tells her to stay home, and he goes out. But she follows him from behind, sort of from a distance as he goes into town. And she watches him as he goes to an office where more men in blue suits with triangular pins question him about a debt. He keeps saying that he's paid the debt and everything, he's square with them. He doesn't have to, he took out the money, paid the interest, even though it kept going up and they kept, asking for more money. He's paid all of it. They should be okay. and they just keep saying they need more money from him. And they say, if you can't pay, we're just going to take you instead. And they grab him. And
oh no!
And they rip him out and they pull him onto a horse and they ride out of town. And she follows, chasing them out of town and firing at them with her .22, and continues chasing them way out of town. And eventually they fire back at her, and she's hit in the shoulder and falls off her horse. The horse keeps going, leaving her in the dust, staring up into the sky in the wilderness, bleeding. End of episode.
Damn, that's a cool opening episode.
Thank you.
And so, is she gonna have like kind of a Lucy and the Ghoul sort of relationship from the Fallout TV show?
Yes, yeah.
Season
so
2?
they're gonna end up being buds, or not buds,
Yeah.
but you know.
Like they have a begrudging respect and almost like compassion for one another, you know, by the end. But at the beginning, they're sort of like, this person is a means to an end.
Kind of, yeah. Except the unknown is not. The Ghoul in the Fallout show is pretty mean and stuff. The unknown just kind of doesn't really speak much, and it's not like that he hates her or anything like that. He just kind of doesn't.
He's
a mystical, folklore character. He's a lot more complex in his. He's a force of nature. He's not really concerned with people and emotions and things like that. But maybe he sort of, takes a liking to her.
He's like Arnold in T2, where he's like, "Now I know why you cry, but this is something I could never do."
That was a great Arnold
And then he
voice.
jumps. Thank you. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, so I'm choosing to believe that you're not being sarcastic.
Yep.
Yeah. What's her weapon
I was thinking a rifle
of choice?
Um,
I was gonna suggest maybe a bow and arrow. Maybe she like starts the show with a rifle, but then throughout maybe they meet somebody who's a bow and arrow person, and she trains in that and becomes like a total badass.
Well, the whole reason I gave her the .22 in the beginning is to show off her rifling skills. So she could have both. That doesn't really matter for the story. Because in the episode 2, Sherry wakes up to the masked face of the unknown above her. He brings her to a nearby town and gets her healed, and fed and pays for everything so that she can get, all rested up. And after a day of her getting healed up, he questions her about where the men were going and why they wanted her father. And she says that she knows, and pleads, to go with him. And he obviously declines her and is just like, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go in that direction and leave you here. He doesn't really say that. He just kind of like walks out. And she's still kind of injured, so she kind of like limps, follows him. Like while she's on the horse, she's kind of just like laying on the horse as she like slowly is recovering on her journey to chase after the unknown who's chasing after her father. And she can see, like, she'll follow him and like watch him track the eyeless cult, like looking at the hoof prints and throwing dust in the air. There's something he can do with the dust that she doesn't really understand, that is like helping him track the eyeless.
Yeah.
So she keeps doing that. And eventually she follows him to a canyon where he is ambushed, Charlie, by bandits. Oh no. And he's caught so unawares that he's actually captured. Now these bandits are not the eyeless, these are just random bandits.
He just was off his game. He's probably hungover.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the part of it is what I want to somehow to reveal to the audience, I don't really know how, is that he knows she's following him. And he's kind of also looking out for her while also tracking these people, and it's kind of too much for him to handle at the same time. And so he goes into this canyon, he gets captured, and she saves him by creating a distraction. Maybe she like lights a fire under their horses or something like that and causes them all to run over to the barn where the horses are. And then she'll shoot the rope that they're using to hang him. Like in the Fallout TV series, where
in the show, yeah.
And so they're hanging the unknown, but he's kind of like this mystical figure, so it takes him a long time to get hung. In that way.
We've been hanging this guy for 2 hours. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. So when he gets to the ground, he tosses the dirt in the air and he puts all the bandits to sleep, which is very surprising to her. And she's insistent, like, I'm gonna keep following you. Like, you have to it'll just be easier if you just let me go with you. And he, like, doesn't really agree, but he doesn't, like, speed up and go away. He, like, lets her follow. So she now is riding next to him. It's, like, not like they're together at this point, like, traveling together. It's kind of just like he's going and she's traveling right next to him. And as the show progresses, it eventually becomes like, them together.
Yeah.
Buddies.
Buddies, best pals. Maybe they kiss. They're not gonna kiss.
No, she's 15 and he's endless, like a weird,
endless, like,
entity thing.
Yeah.
We'll never
Probably
see, like, his
cool.
face or anything like that. Maybe even if we take off we'll briefly maybe see, like, a snip of under his mask, and it's just kind of like this void under his mask.
That would be cool.
Like this swirling void. He's faceless, Charlie. Faceless.
Yeah, he's faceless. He's a gross, weird freak man. I like him.
Yeah.
The unknown.
So, where is this show going?
That is a good question.
They're gonna travel around the Old West, facing all kinds of mystical threats as they track down the eyeless cult.
Cool.
They're called the eyeless cult because they take out their own eyes, Charlie, which will reveal when he kills members of them. Because the sort of like dust, like the sparkly haze that's above their eyes, when they die, that will go away, and we'll see that there's just nothing there. It's just sockets, no eyes.
It's just sockets, empty, bloodied sockets.
And we'll reveal that when he kills some members of the cult, like in episode 3 or something like that. But we don't understand why. It's pretty clear. I think the unknown knows, but he's not explaining anything.
He doesn't explain.
So we're really he Sherry
exists.
is kind of the audience's perspective, not circuit, but we're learning things as she learns.
POV.
Yeah, kind of. So we're learning from her point of view about like this cult and what's going on. And she still is trying to find her dad, and she's very clear about that through their journey, and she wants to get him before they can kill him or do whatever the hell they're gonna do to him. She doesn't really think they're gonna kill him. She just wants to get him back. She assumes they're trying to extort him for more money.
For money or whatever.
So and I should explain the haze. They can see while the haze is there. So I don't know how we would do it. Maybe, but it'd be cool to have a scene where like maybe they capture one of the people. Yeah. And he forcibly shoves dust into their eyes, their eye sockets, and the haze will go away then. And we'll see like these dust-filled eye sockets.
The haze means that his dust doesn't work, and so he has to do like a different spell. And so he he draws some like symbol on the guy's forehead while he's tied down, and that makes the haze disappear and the eyes like leave him, and he's just got these sockets, and there's this dude screaming out like, please give me my eyes, I need to see. And then the unknown leans over him, and in like a scary ass fashion, it's like, not until you don't need to see until I know what I need to know.
Yeah, you've already given up your eyes or something like that.
You've seen enough.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then he starts pouring the sand into the eye sockets until they get full, and he's like, oh, please stop it. No, please, I'll tell you anything. Yeah. We're out of Red Rock Canyon.
So eventually they'll, like, end of the show, they're going to get to the cult's base, the eyeless cult's base. And we're going to find that they're using all the eyes from not just the cult members, but people that they're capturing to make a giant eye monster, which is supposed, it's like we'll see like a big egg that's covered in eyes, and which is supposed to bring Somnus into the real world. And we're going to find out we're way too late to save Sherry's dad, very much dead, eyes taken out on the monster. But they're able to, so that they classic scenario, they're gonna get there.
Maybe she recognizes them.
That's
like maybe her dad has like a very specific, like he's got like that David Bowie thing where one pupil's bigger than the other, and it's very unique. And so they go up and they see the giant egg covered in eyes, and then the unknown is kind of sullen and silent, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's horrible!" And then she sees right there, like staring at her, is her father's eyes, and they blink, and she just like starts weeping.
I guess, now that I think about it, we could find her dad alive, like in a prison cell.
Yeah. With no eyes. Just being like, ah.
Just no eyes, yeah. I think that might be okay. And then maybe at the end of the show, like, he can, the unknown can restore his eyes somehow. Like maybe he does fill them with sand, and it like brings his sight back.
Brings them back. Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe he gives him his goggles. Just hands him the welding goggles and like walks off into the sunset. We don't see his face. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It does, but you know.
But where this is going is the monster. It comes out and like this big eye monster thing, and we'll have a big showdown between Somnus and the unknown. So as Somnus is like coming out of this egg, he's not like at full power yet, but the more of him that like gets out of the egg, the more power he's getting. Is gonna be the kind of situation. And
is he made of eyeballs?
It's the egg is made out of eyeballs, but we can see like this sort of mystical force that's breaking out of it.
All right.
With like kind of like the same sort of material that's going to be the void that is the unknown's face. Like there's just like this sort of wrapping like power
like
that's
the secret
emanating
fabric
from this,
of the universe.
Yeah, is like ripping out of this egg and battling the unknown. And the way we're going to defeat this thing is Sherry's actually going to figure it out, which is putting the dust in the eyes to put them to sleep.
Yeah.
So they're gonna manage to put the Somnus to sleep by covering his eyes in dust. Maybe they like cave in the roof and it like pours all this dust on the eyes. We can see them all go.
Oh, that would be cool.
Go out. And what's going to be neat about this is that what it's going to do in the end is it's going to put Somnus in his own dream. So now he's no longer able to manipulate the dreams of others because he's in his own dream. He's now trapped in his own prison of eyes.
The only person he could drive mad is himself.
Is himself, yeah. He's trapped in his own dream. He can only manipulate his own reality now. So that's and then I guess then we can have like the dad coming out with Sherry, and he's all sad because his eyes don't work, and the unknown will fill his eyes with sand, and maybe he now has like brown eyes or something like that. He had like blue eyes at the beginning, and then Sherry will like thank the unknown. He'll just like tip his hat and just walk off into the sunset.
Maybe she says thank you and hands him a bottle of whiskey, and he tips his hat, takes the bottle of whiskey, and walks off into the sunset. Because he's a drunk.
He's drunk.
He should be a drunk, I think. But I like that. I like that show a lot.
I think it's fun.
I would not have come up with the cowboy who makes people go to sleep. That's a cool idea.
Well, you gave me Lullaby, so I was like, how is that gonna work? Lullaby. And so eventually came up with Sandman from that. So, but yeah, that's my show. Longneck Lullaby, a cowboy Sandman character who's hunting down a cult that is trying to bring a dream god into the real world. It's a fun, neat little thing.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun little action show about a girl making friends and meeting her dad and saying hi to her dad and being like, hey, Dad, where are your eyes gone? Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host. Charles Long with me has always been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, gunner, navigator, orator, and podcasting associate, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, tell your cat, and remember, we'll be here next week with a brand new television series for you to imagine and enjoy, and the title of that show will be... Jake, tell us.
Well, we don't have to do the whole song and dance because you already know, Charlie. It is The Difference in the Day.
The Difference in the Day. I might change one article.
What's the article?
I may change it from the to a.
The difference, a difference in the day?
No, the difference in a day.
The difference in a day. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be the show. All I know about it is it probably is gonna take place on a lighthouse.
Okay, lighthouse.
That's all I know.
The difference in the day. We'll look forward to that next week on the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. But for now, we will have to bid you adieu.
Bid you adieu.
But we will see you next time.